Okay, so I'm going to talk about financial resources for your businesses. And my first question is, what kind of financial resources do you need for the enterprise?
Okay, luckily with the Herbalife business you don't need a lot of financial resources. As we talked about earlier, there are three resources, main resources. One is time, another one is money, and the other one is energy. Okay. Unfortunately with time you can never get it back. You only have so much time. Okay. The only way you can maximize your time is to look after yourself and make sure you stay healthy so that you get your full time. Okay? But basically time, if you spend it, is gone. But money you can make more, right? So, so with the Herbalife business, the money side of things is very easy. You can actually build up with very little, because in the Herbalife business, the Herbalife company has actually invested millions and actually billions of dollars into the infrastructure of the company on our behalf. So it's a bit like a franchise without the franchise price tag. So you can get started in the Herbalife business for, say, $200, whereas in other businesses you have to spend $200,000. Okay, so with Herbalife, you can actually start small and keep building up, and keep earning some more money, and then have more resources, and then reinvest some of that money. So a person can start off with virtually nothing and go right to the top and have income without the risk. So luckily in the Herbalife business there's very little risk. So that's a very good advantage. Okay. So it wasn't that difficult for me to become involved in it, because I didn't have a lot of money, so it was good for me to be able to start with some sweat equity, some work, some sweat off the brow. Okay, so I did the hard work in the beginning, built up a bit of business, and then some of my customers, early customers, got such good results, they were happy to bring me other customers, and the word of mouth started happening, and that expanded my business right at the beginning. So it was more about sweat rather than money investment here. So I did the hard work, started from nothing, and just built my way up slowly. Yeah. So that's how it worked with our business, and that's fortunate, isn't it? Yeah. Some businesses have a lot more money investment and so on. You should be, I guess, more careful. So I think it's better if you start with something that's a low money investment and build up your confidence and learn more about yourself and become better at things before you jump in and invest a lot of money without having experience. So experience with low capital investment, the experience is more important. Yeah.
And from those three aspects that you talked about, and which resource is the main contact for your business?
Yeah, so in our case, I think, well, for us, time management is the most important, so that we use our time wisely, okay, and that we keep our energy strong, okay, so that we can have enough passion to do this properly and wholeheartedly, and that our message comes across with excitement. Yeah, and the other thing that's important, people sometimes underestimate this, is to have, there's an old saying that success breeds success, and there's a reason why that happens. It's called momentum. So as you have a little bit of success in the beginning, other people will be attracted to that success. And the more successful those people become, the more attractive it becomes again. So people want to go where they see excitement and something happening. So in the beginning, I had to create some momentum for myself. The company was already having some momentum, but then that was up to me to create some momentum. So it took a bit of time in the beginning, but then as there was more and more success, it became easier and easier and required less time, because now people became attracted to the existing success. So actually, as time went on, I had to work less hard, I guess. So in the beginning, you always got to start something off first and work a little bit harder, and then after a while, it rolls by itself. So I hope this answers your question, but for us, a very important thing is momentum and getting success, some results. Once we have results, a lot of people want to go where it's already working. So that's why we have meetings to share the results, so people get more and more attracted. And the bigger the meetings become, the more people get attracted, because they can see it's working for more and more people.
Okay. Yeah. And next question is, how do you manage your capital resource efficiently in your projects?
Okay. Well, the first rule of thumb is don't spend what you haven't got. Okay, and don't spend all you've got. Okay, so we spend at the most 30%, or reinvest, but 30% into promotions and different 30% of our current monthly earnings that we reinvest into promotions or initiatives. So it's important to have a sound financial plan. Okay. You should, and plus you should always put some money aside for a rainy day. Okay, most people that in fact, the founder of our company lived by good example. So there was a lot of good leadership in that area. So people were actually showing us to keep some money aside. So we always had some stockpile of money. So when something does happen, you have money for emergency funds and so on, right? Okay? And life is like that sometimes. There will be some rainy days, okay? But it's important that you put money aside when things are going well, and constantly, we call this paying yourself. Put at least 10% away that you just don't touch, and it just keeps accumulating. Yeah.
Next is there's an issue that most women entrepreneurs discourage borrower. Do you know what is it?
No, I'm not quite sure what you mean by discouraged borrower,
Yes.
but I'm glad to say that in our business there's a huge amount of successful women. In fact, I would say there's at least 50%, if not more, of the entrepreneurs in our company are women. In fact, the #1 highest paid person in our company is a woman. So this is definitely a business that treats women and men equal. Yeah. Yes. So is that kind of where you were leading with that discouraged borrower, or is there more to that question?
Yeah, something like not equal, like discrimination between men and women.
I figured that's what it meant. Yes. So yeah. So 100% in our company, everyone's considered equal, no matter what their background or their race, color, or sexual, male, female, whatever. So everybody's being treated equal, and as I said, some of the most successful people in our company are ladies, and in many cases the ladies are earning more than their own husbands, who may have other businesses. So in that case, the men have been able to retire from their other business on the Herbalife, on the ladies' income. I know such a person very well. Is that right, Michael? Anyway, so this happens all the time with us. Yeah, absolutely.
So you never experienced.
Never been any discrimination. I think this is one of the only businesses on the planet where there's no discrimination between males and females. Awesome, isn't it?
That's awesome, really awesome.
Yes, great. And have you people join our team here very soon, huh? Right.
All right. And the next question is the global recession or a GFC has happened recently, isn't it?
Right.
And is there any way that changed in the way that you're managing your business?
Right. Okay. Alright, so I'll answer that 2 or 3 different ways. First of all, whenever there's some kind of a global event where, like a GFC, people become a little bit more careful what they spend money on, right? And that's all of us, right? Okay, and actually I've found that it's actually helped our business, because people were less likely to spend money on unnecessary items, and they're thinking more carefully about spending money on their health, because if their health is not good, it doesn't matter what car they've got, right? If they're in bed sick, even the fastest car can't be driven, right? So there's been an increased renewal of people's attention towards health, and that's actually helped our business. So this company has gone through, by my count, through at least 5 recessions in the last 31 years, and each time there was a recession, our business has actually increased. So if anything, we're working harder today because we're having a bigger influx of people contacting us that either want to be involved as customers and get healthy, or people who also want to be involved in our business opportunity, which we can help them with as well, because people are looking for second incomes, so both of which we can help with. So anything, it's helped our business, and we're a bit more busy today. Tomorrow we're going to have a big meeting in the city with us, hundreds of people coming along that are, joining our team. So yeah, so my goal is for this city alone is to have 500 new people in the next 12 months joining our business. So it's great. So 10,000 new customers and 500 new workers in our company. So it's growing. Yeah.
And my final question to you is, have you ever experienced any financial difficulties?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
And how do you resolve it?
Well, basically most financial difficulties, occasionally it can be through external circumstances, but most of the time it's through your own personal mismanagement, right? So mostly that's what financial difficulties are about, is that you didn't plan for the future, you didn't put money aside, and now when things are a bit tougher, or you have a down month, and of course now you don't have enough resources. So it's adjusting spending and making sure that you don't overspend. It's easy to go broke even if you're earning $100,000 a month. And that's how by spending $101,000 a month, right?
Yeah.
True? True. Yeah. So that's the key is to how well are you at treating your money. Yep. So a little bit of financial restraint. And that's hard sometimes, because when I was 25 years of age, and after about a year and a half, I was starting to make some pretty decent money, and now of course I was buying some suits and ties and trying to look good, right? And bought a car, and when I went shopping, I asked if you see a tie, they ask how many colors does it come in, so then you buy multiple items and you go a bit crazy sometimes with your early money. So you just got to learn to keep your head a bit straight and not to overspend. Yeah, that's generally the big message. Yep. Put money aside. Yes. Yep. Good.